with the folks that don't know us of talking about who you are, what your role is at Alief ISD, and then we'll start with some questions for the panel, okay?
All right, so good afternoon. My name is Katrina Harris, and
I don't think that's long. Is that on? Here, y'all can switch my switch.
Testing. Okay. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Katrina Harris, and I am currently the CCMR Data Analysis Manager for Alief ISD.
Sharing my case. Good afternoon. I am Mr. Everett Harris Sr. I proudly serve as the Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction for kindergarten through 6th grade. And it's a pleasure just serving in the Alief Independent School District.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Jessica Rivers, the Elementary Math Coordinator, K-6, and so excited to be here as every year that we've been coming. So this is a great opportunity again to be with you this afternoon.
Hello everybody, I'm Holly Berger and I'm a professional learning specialist with Curriculum Associates, and I'm honored to be one of the specialists that works with many of you, including Alief ISD.
So I guess this is the mic that's on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
All right, so I've got to brag on Holly, y'all. You know, you go to work with rock stars, and she literally is a rock star. She has done amazing work with Alief ISD, but as well as just any district that she goes around and helps as far as our professional learning. So Holly, thank you for all your work in Alief and all over Texas. Thank you so much. All right, so now that we got some introductions out of the way, let's just start with our first question here. So this one will be for Mr. Everett, Mr. Hare here. So as far as our long-standing partnership, tell the audience a little bit about Alief ISD and why you partner with IRED.
So, first of all, let me just give a shout out to all of the Alief ISD staff. So a lot of the first thing that people think about when they think about Alief is Alief pride, right? And the pride that carries throughout our district. The southwest area of Houston, Texas is one of the most cultural and diverse areas that you'll ever find. We service students. Right now, we currently have over 100 plus different languages and dialects that are spoken within across our different campuses. And so we have a unique set of needs that we have to always ensure is being met when we're working with partners. IRED has been a partnership that we have a long-lasting relationship, and really it's really an opportunity for us to share and engage, but also the responsiveness. I think one of the things that, as a central office member, you work with so many different vendors and services, and at times, people will sell you all of the products and things that they have, but then when it's time for them to be responsive, you know, it's like, hey, we'll put you on hold, we'll get back to you, et cetera, et cetera. One thing I can say about IRED is that they're very responsive. When we have any challenges or supports that are necessary, they jump on it with immediate just feedback and ways that they can help be supportive. Not even 24 hours ago, we were in a planning meeting with some of the IRED leaders, reviewing our BOI data, looking at next steps. But a big component of that was thinking about what are some of the challenges and reflective pieces that we have just at this moment and where we want to go. And so as we were just seeing some of the updates that are coming for 26-27, that makes a lot of people feel really valued because those are things they've been asking for. And so I think our partnership is cultivated and our staff and our students embrace the opportunity just because IRED is right there in the trenches with you through this educational struggle.
Thank you, Mr. Hare, for saying that. Katrina, I'm going to ask, kind of along the same lines, in your opinion, I know you've been an educator for a while, along the same lines here, what do you think separates IRED from other vendors from other similar vendors?
Okay, in my opinion, IRED sets itself apart by engaging students and also driving meaningful growth. We have partnered with IRED for the past 8 years, and for this whole time, children love being inside of that platform. They love enjoying those games while also tracking their progress. Our teachers use that iReady data to have data conversations with the students, and they also build incentives around their success. So our campuses across our district, they have monthly, weekly, and classroom incentives and spotlights that the children just absolutely adore. So I believe that sets iReady apart from any other program in MedRanked.
I appreciate that, Ms. Katrina. Thank you. As a matter of fact, last year, Jessica and I, we were up here last year for the summit talking about, hey, how can we keep students and educators motivated? So thank you for saying a little bit about that. Jessica, I'm going to start with you, but this is actually a question that we can ask the entire panel. But I'll start with you, Jessica. As far as when you think about your iReady partnership, what are you excited for this year?
Well, I'm always excited for iReady, and I will have to say this part, you mentioned the incentives, and our campuses, I have to speak on this if you don't mind.
Sure.
But our elementary and intermediate campuses, they get so involved with incentives and things to grow kids, but to get them excited about the platform and the program. I think they have inner competitions with each other to see which campus can be the most creative what they're doing with their students. I had a specialist tell me yesterday they have these house things going on, and he's creating groups within iReady. He didn't realize how intensive that was, but he's creating groups for each teacher, then groups for the whole campus so that they can track those students. So they get really excited about that. And this year we have added on flight fluency. And so we are getting fluency flight, because I say it wrong, you said fluency flight. I would say fluency flight. But in order to get kids stronger in their facts, it is new to us, so we're not new to the program, but we're new to using it this year. So we are just getting into it, but we are hopeful to see that it creates those gains for students, especially in those foundational skills. You know, fluency in facts, you know, a little bit harder sometimes, but it catches them where they are. And so we're really excited to see the success with that, and then how it moves along from elementary to middle to high, how it impacts that instruction.
Thank you for that, Jessica. And then just coming back my direction here, Everett, what are you excited for this year, my friend?
So I would say for me, I think definitely just continuing to build on the relationship. We started something last year that was just a spark of competition. And so it's very healthy, but it also, people take it seriously, right? As that Michael Jordan meme where they take it personally. And they're literally coming for each other, right? They're sending me emails and text messages. It's like, you know, Mr. Harry, can you look at my data? I just want to make sure I'm beating X, Y, and Z, right?
These are administrators that are doing it.
Professional. But I think it creates a sense of not only belonging, but people really having a motivating factor that organically now helps them to drive instructional value. So when they think about, yes, I want to be the best, but I'm also utilizing this platform to build the instructional components within the classroom. I'm intentional about where I'm doing some pre-assignments, but I'm also, again, I'm trying to be the best, and I want everybody else to see those exemplar pieces. Those campuses are reaching out because they know that helps them get to be the best version of themselves.
I love that. And then Katrina, what about you? What are you excited for this year?
Okay, well, I'm excited about the incentivizing of the data, but I'm also excited about our overall growth as a district. iReady is tied to our teachers' TIA. So with that being said, that adds another layer of competition or motivation on our teachers. And so because of that, we have already seen that the gains that we've made from it being attached to TIA. And so moving forward in our third year, we'll be able to see even more, and we'll be setting that standard and closing those gaps.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So this is another question for you, Mr. Hare. So Alief, of course, is one of the longest standing partnerships. I was talking with Claudia, and she told me that 8 years ago we started with one campus, and now we are K-8, reading and math over there. Every student gets to experience iReady. Really proud of that. But as in your role, and you think about your leadership, where have you experienced, or what moments demonstrate where you see the student growth, and you also see the teachers and staff embracing the program?
So I think Ms. Rivers kind of alluded to it earlier. We do a lot of campus visits, and it is now a sense of this is a part of the campus environment. And so as you walk through the hallways and you see those competition boards that are now plastered up there, you see the highlights of the student of the month or student of the week, right? The class competitions that are happening. And so we see some very unique and creative visuals that are now being embraced throughout all of the campuses. So that's one piece and element of it. I want to shine light on a specific campus, and if we can just take a moment of privilege. Chambers Elementary, are you in the building? So, not to just add promo, but if there was an opportunity for iReady to speak to, hey, this is the impact that you can have on the campus. Chambers Elementary went through some struggles and previously was rated a D for TEA accountability. They put in the hard work, they invested into the mindsets and the program itself, amongst other instructional processes, and in 1 year advanced from a D to an A on that. I think it speaks volumes, right, to the process. And behind the scenes, I have a lot of conversations and meetings about data correlation, right? We think about the elements of STAR, we think about the elements of just growth and those components. When I looked at the beginning of year data and the end of year data, specifically for Chambers last year, I saw so much of the growth components. And then when I looked at their STAR data and the elements they had in their growth for Domain 2A, like literally it was mirrored, right? So the investment that they made in terms of sticking to the process, investing in their students and staff, and just their evolution into just high achievement, we saw that resonate specifically with that campus. So shout out again to Chambers Elementary under the leadership of Principal Solis. They are amazing, and they are a testament specifically to the work and collaboration of iReady.
I know we just got through clapping, but I want to recognize them. Chambers, stand up, please. Let me see where you're at. Good job. Thank you. It definitely takes a team effort, and they came together as a team to really try to help out those students there. This may be for you, Mr. Hare or Katrina. I'll let whoever feels like answering this one. It's kind of around middle school. So why do you think it's important? I know that you use iReady kindergarten through 8th grade. But why do you think it's important to still use a program like iReady at the middle school level?
Okay, well, in Alief ISD, we have a high population of newcomers. And so, they depend on that L1 to get the L2. So what iReady does is sets them on those individual learning pathways in order to meet them where they are and to pull them up. And that is important when we are thinking about student outcomes and then their life outside of school. We heard some data earlier that shared with us that if they don't learn how to read by a certain age or grade level, then they're most likely to drop out. But they're also more likely to end up in prison. And we don't want that to happen to our babies, just as was shared earlier. So it is so important to use iReady at the middle school level because those students are still trying. They still see the hope in their futures, and we should be right there to meet them where they are with this intervention piece.
Good stuff. I know we talked middle school, and you're mentioning the newcomers.
Yeah, so we receive a lot of students. I think this year, Venezuela, we had a lot of students that came in from that particular country and just the whole Latin side of it. And I think people don't understand the struggles that occur when you are a first-time student as a newcomer and you're arriving here and you're in 7th grade, right? Like everything around you sounds like you can't comprehend those components. When people are writing things up there, it looks like those hieroglyphics. And so we make it a point to take it day by day, providing a lot of emergent bilingual supports. We do regular SIOP trainings, a lot of things that just help, right, in terms of building up their skill sets, but also just developmental language components. I do a lot of training specifically centered on aligning language targets and objectives, specifically with areas of need when it comes to the domains that TELP has. But our newcomers they need like consistent practices and things that are going to help them to develop those opportunities, and iReady gives them that platform. The more consistently that we see those things happening, we see them start to build their confidence, and that's a big component of it, right? It's not a secret. There's a lot of things happening in society that are going against the opportunity that some of our students have. We're not just talking funding. So for those elements, we have to figure out every possible opportunity that we can put in front of them and invest in their future. And so when you get a newcomer who gets the opportunity to jump on the platform, to see those practice lessons, to see their own growth capacity, right? And even for our teachers, we have a lot of teachers that are degreed but not necessarily certified, and as they're building out their skills, right, they're trying to figure out what is the best resource for learning materials that they can put in front of students for them to be successful. And so iReady is one of those valuable platforms for them that you continue to see those developmental pieces.
Love that, Mr. Hare. And then Jessica, I think you want to talk a little bit about in the middle school how we have iReady Pro.
Yes, so in grades 6 through 8, now we have iReady Pro, which is more aligned to those student needs, which gets our students more involved and motivated. So we are appreciating that, and we are loving the platform. And another piece I wanted to speak on is that with our middle school, and I'm talking reading and math, we're seeing our students be more involved in it. That was a concern, and we worked on that. As you mentioned, Holly came, she comes every time, training those teachers and leaders to understanding what the platform is, what the platform does, and you can see the usage is up, the minutes, also making sure that we're focusing on lessons passed, so now we've got a minute. So our big push next year is lessons passed, and so in the middle school, we're really seeing it. You know, the numbers may not be quite there, but looking at our growth from last year, it is amazing. So iReady Pro and just having our kids in the program and everyone understanding has been a big shift for us.
Love that, Jessica. Thank you. So we're almost at time. I want to do two things. First of all, not to put you on the spot, Holly. Thank you for joining us up here. Holly, if you could just speak maybe just a few seconds around your experience with the training and your involvement in the iReady implementation in Alief ISD. You've been so valuable, so I wanted to make sure that you have some of that.
It truly is a partnership, and I think that's my favorite part, right? It's not just, oh, like you mentioned, it's a program, you're coming in, you're doing a training, you're out, right? As we work with every district, these are our people, right? And so we have that partnership, and we want to continue to build capacity, and we want to see students succeed, right? So things like iReady Pro or certain components, we've been able to go in and tailor it to not only what the district needs, but what that campus needs, right? So we've said, okay, you're using iReady, great, but how are we really using it? What are those components that we want to focus on? What data do we need to look at, right? Like I mentioned, the iReady Pro, the prerequisite report, the toolbox, right? And so we started off just kind of with some basic training, but then we've barely been tailoring it to specific needs to see that growth, and we have. And we're kind of, not to sound too silly, but we're all in this together kind of thing, right? And so we, their success is our success, right? We are truly a partner, and we want to see them continue to succeed. So
thank you so much for that. Thank you, Holly. How much time do we have? Do we have any questions? Any time for questions from the group, or we gotta go? 1 minute. It better be a good question. Let's see who's got one.
Make it count.
Make it count. We got one question. Time for one question. Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the incentives that you're offering your students?
Oh, that's good. That's good. The question was, in case you didn't hear, what are some of the incentives that you're offering your students?
So we took some time to just think about what would be valuable in really just driving our motivating factors across different campuses. It started with the process of, okay, let's look at a monthly type of incentive, right? And so we got some trophies, and ultimately at the principal ILT meetings, we designate them as traveling trophies. And so at every principal meeting, we would look at the utilization of the campuses, the lessons mastered and percentage, as well as the students' utilization across the board, and determine who would be our winners at elementary, intermediate, and middle school. And so that was great. We started to spark those conversations. And then Lewis and I, we were literally just thinking one day, was like, we want something really, really big. So growing up, I'm sure everybody in here at one point, you are a wrestling fan, right? You could probably say, hey, I had a favorite wrestler of this time or era, right? Whether it be
We used to
LeBron-
call it wrestling. Y'all remember? Wrestling.
right? And so we were like, you know, it would be really, really cool to design a wrestling championship belt that that would be like the champion of iRated. And we started looking it up, and Lewis found it, and we were like, all right, let's design it. It should look like this. And I mean, we literally built this thing from just a custom belt, and then we did an announcement, all right, at the end of the year. At the risk of risk management not calling me and saying, Mr. Harry, you're doing a lot, the principals were so excited. And when I tell you, I had one principal, got his belt, ran back, climbed up on the table, and was walking around holding it up like he had just won the Royal Rumble. With HR and everybody present. And I kept saying, as a disclaimer, I do instruction, I don't do safety. And I'm saying, Lord, please help this man not to fall off his table. But when I tell you the excitement in the room, it went viral on Twitter. Like it was just crazy, right? Of the excitement for it, and it created another spark in terms of the incentive. So what we're doing now, we look at our BOY data. We put the charge out there that we're going to monitor up until the middle of the year, and those titles, if those campuses have been overtaken in terms of data by another campus, they have to hand over the title at the middle of the year. And when I tell you, they are coming for these people. They literally are like monitoring. And when you see the data start to increase, you know those incentives are working because they are really like, I'm coming for that bill.
Yeah. It's awesome to see. I know it's time, but I know it's time, so we're done. But I tell you what, like I had the opportunity at the beginning of the school year.
The champ is here.
The champ is here? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so prior to my role in Central, I was a specialist. And so my campus, my elementary school campus, actually won the belt. And so how did we win the belt is I made my own little competition between my teachers on my campus. So I created monthly incentives, and they were things like pizza party, you know, they tell us not to feed them, but you know, kids like food and snacks and things. And we also had a month where they got a chance to silly string their teachers and the principal. And we also had a month where we taped the principal to the wall. So those instances like that where those teachers, those classrooms who met that goal, that 45 minutes per week, those 2 lessons passing per week, and overall the month of minutes, we tracked that every single month. And by the end of the year, we were the #1 campus in our district. And we got our building.
What campus is that?
Horn Elementary.
So shout out to Horn Elementary as well. Yeah, so that is our time. Thank you to the Alief panel. I appreciate it.